So evening Richard. Hope you're all okay. So can you all hear me okay? So hello Michael. So good evening John Mackenzie. Yeah, we've got two top fans in tonight, Richard and John. So bro. Anyway, so good evening Ben. Loud and clear. So sorry I've been away, been a bit busy with work and everything else. So been doing what I can. Some of you do know me. I do run my own business, so I'm quite busy in the week and stuff. But anyway, so what we did earlier this evening, some of you may have seen the MRYCG Model Railway YouTube community group. Obviously, Facebook Friday, we did feature on there. We had a look at the Class 90s, but obviously not everyone's part of it, and some of you missed it. So I'm staying up late this evening. So some of you can have a look at what we've got in store and actually have a look at the Class 90 models coming up. So is everyone looking forward to a nice weekend of modelling? So hey, right, let's have a look. Hi Adrian. Whew. So coming back to reality, right, so we're going to have a look at the Class 90. What we've got in the competition coming up, this is in association with Melts Models, okay? This has took quite a lot to pull off, to say the least. There's a lot of money's worth of stuff here. Okay, this one is my locomotive. Okay. And we also have to give away, this is going to be over a 2-week period. So we're going to be giving away a Class 90 in the Swallow livery and a Class 90 in the Freightliner livery. So we're going to have a look at the locomotives. I'm going to leave this one boxed up because that one's exactly the same as mine. I chose the liveries to give away. I'm afraid I didn't choose the rail freight distribution. I thought these two were the best, really. So, hi Sam. Hope you're okay. So, you've been keeping busy doing all your film work? So, working all weekend, James. So anyway, let's have a look at the Class 90 and see what we actually get. Okay. So I'm trying to keep in frame the screen because I'm this side of the layout. The screen's behind me, so I'm trying to. Sometimes I have to look back behind me to make sure I've got everything in frame for you. Okay. So this is the Class 90 model that's just been released today from Bachmann. Okay, superb model. I can tell you there's quite a bit of weight to it. This one I have already had a play with. Okay, for those that you've already seen. So I'm just going to pop it out the box. First and most importantly, on the back, we'll get the general blurb about the Class 90s. So obviously it does state 50 Class 90 locomotives were ordered by British Rail in 1986 to replace the ageing Class 85 fleet on the West Coast Main Line. Well, mainline duties. Whilst also allowing BR to cascade a number of 86s to East Anglia. Wow. Even more editing. So Sam's a brilliant editor. I admire your work, Sam. I really do. So he's great with his film work, and I learnt a bit from him at Severn Valley, actually. Anyway, so construction of the 110 mile an hour rated locomotives was completed by British Rail Engineering Limited in Crewe in 1990, and the fleet was split between different sectors of British Rail. And these were to operate passenger, mail, and parcels and freight services. Most of these were allocated to rail freight distribution for freight services and would later be downgraded to 75 mile an hour, reclassified as Class 91s. Thanks. And to York tomorrow. Hope to get an NRM visiting if I can. Hey, it's a good place if you've not already been. Definitely. Just make sure you got your camera charged up or your phone at least. So, obviously a few of these were renumbered into Class 91s. Okay, they were downgraded to 75 mile an hour. I guess it was for more torque, I guess. And they're renumbered accordingly. And following work to isolate the electric train heating and push-pull. So these were dedicated freight locos, the 91s. Well, 90/1, not Class 91. Anyway, this was quite interesting, we found. Upon privatisation, Class 90 fleet was split between Virgin Trains, EWS and Freightliner. By 1999, the Class 91s, acquired by EWS, had been converted back to 90s, so they got rid of the 75 mile an hour. Obviously. So, some were fitted with different brake blocks and became 92s, I guess these were the Freightliners. Yeah, they were, and obviously they were converted for freight hauling. And the rest of it's Malcolm Logistics. There's a few different liveries. The majority of the class carried the names in service. Obviously, I know a few of these have been scrapped. GNER, DB Schenker, First, ScotRail, Anglia, Greater Anglia. I don't know what the difference is. National Express, DRS, and Malcolm Logistics. It'd be interesting if they did a Malcolm one. So, evening, Richard. Anyway, so we're going to be having a look at this. So this one is my locomotive. So straight away out the box, I don't know if you can see, there is a little notice. The 21-pin DCC decoder that's configured for the servo operation must be used. Damage will happen to the servo if not used. Right, so with these giveaways we are giving the decoders with them as well. I work for Malcolm's, hope they release it. I'm sure they will over time. So these are configured for operation with the servo on the Class 90s. Okay, the ones we're giving away do come with the decoder. It does come with the instructions. You can reconfigure another decoder. So if you got like a lock sound or something like that, it can be done. Okay, so don't fall into the trap, because I think Bachmann are charging a little bit for these decoders. Anyway, most importantly, like I said, so we get the, I'm just trying to make sure it's in frame here. So, Class 90, owner's information. So, get a pointy stick. Now you've not missed anything, Neil. So, we're just looking at the 90s. Anyway, so it recommends a PVA-based adhesive. So, don't use plastic glue because it leaves smears. So, it should be used for fitting accessories. Okay. Now, there is a difference between the Swallow livery Class 90s on the front and the Freightliner, which we'll have a look at in a moment. The buffer beam and everything's slightly different. So you do have on the Intercity one, you do have retractable buffers that push in and turn. We'll show you that in a mo. And obviously there is a valance as well that you can replace. I think you have to screw this in. So it does show you about the retractable buffers. Okay, if you can see that. So the buffers can be retracted, obviously for the difference when pulling coaches. Yes, the valance does have to be screwed in. There's 2 tiny screws. So I'll have a go at that off camera before I lose the screws. So I'm going to convert one end with the balance. Now one thing obviously it can be done is you can convert the locomotive. Obviously we're going to be converting it to DCC. But you can use it on DC, losing my words. Literally in day and night mode you can select it. But on DCC you can use a function. These are 21-pin 6-function decoders on these. So they're actually manufactured by Zimmo, the ones that are included. Well, not included, the ones that are obviously available to buy, but the ones included with the giveaway are manufactured by Zimmo. You do have to clip the pantograph off separately, but we'll look at that. The rest of it's general, which is on about sound decoder fitting, and obviously fitting, what else we've got? Obviously maintenance and lubrication. And on the back it shows about fitting the decoder, which we'll have a look at in a second. Okay, so let's have a look. So I'm not the best at unboxings, but I do try. So evening, Tim. Good to know about decoder. How it's going to work. Well, on the DCC decoder, it's on the sheet, you can get the CV values. You do have to alter. I'm trying to see if I had a sheet thing somewhere. I have got it somewhere and I will post it up. Okay, so in the box, you get the nameplates, which on this is Financial Times, and you get some little tiny ones as well. I think they're the Crew symbol. Yes, they are, little nameplate for manufactured in Crew. These are very tiny. Obviously, I always use them. I've got some ultra fine, like double-sided sticky I use. I don't actually glue them because I don't want to risk smidging the paintwork. So in the accessory box, Bachmann have slightly upgraded now. So we actually have, so we've got coloured pipework. So this is painted pipework on the ends, like you get in the Hornby, like the Class 56 and everything. Not just a black piece of plastic like you get a lot of the time on the 47s. You've got the valance here and the tiny screws to hold them in. That's going to be fun. Okay, so I did open this earlier when we did a quick thingy on the Facebook. 1 second. So this has already got a decoder fitted, but I have left the top loose so we can have a look at fitting it. So I'm not going to fit the decoder on the giveaway ones. That's down to the user and down to themselves. Let's have a look at the locomotive. Let's see if I can get this in frame. So it is a very bright, vibrant white. I don't believe there is a speaker. I'll check on that, Richard. You may well prove me wrong. I don't believe there is. No, you are correct. No, sorry, Richard. So thank you for pointing that out. I didn't realise that. The Class 90 locomotive comes with a factory-fitted speaker. Oh, it saves me having to strip the whole loco down. So I guess you can change the speaker if you really want to. It's going to be a job and a half on this, I can tell you that. So thank you, Richard. I didn't realise that. Didn't realise. So Chris Hunt, obviously, you know, it's got a speaker built in for it. So, sorry, I just lost my comments there. Okay, so the Class locomotive is a very bright, vibrant white. Okay, so the pipework on the end, I don't know if you can see that, is absolutely cracking. There is included extra pipework and the valance. As you can see, the buffers are sprung, and you can turn them in. So you can push them in, turn them to retract them. This is when pulling coaching stock, obviously. So you can see that one's retracted. As soon as I pop this one out the back, you can see that one does stick out just a little bit more, but they can be retracted and turned. This can't be done on the Freightliner livery. It can only be done on the Intercity one. Okay, because they have the really oval buffers. Now, the fan grills and everything here are just moulded plastic. Okay, the handrails are moulded plastic as well, so the door's not open. Obviously, some Bachmann 37s do open the doors. Afraid this 90 doesn't. One thing I did find a bit weird, most of the time Bachmann models do include a driver. There's no driver on these. I guess it's for push-pull, but I will be sticking a driver in mine. Okay, so on the other end, obviously it's got the Financial Times name plaque, which you've got the metal engraved one as well. Now on the top here, okay, you can see there is 2 pins, as is in real life. These are metal, they're not plastic, so they're not easily broken, but don't give them a good shove. Okay, the detailing above, as you can see. Now, this little plastic nuggin here, I'm not going to take it off, but it is removable, so if you're a DC user, you can pop that off and change it from daytime to nighttime running lights. Okay, but you'll see that in a second when we take the whole thing off. So the other end, exactly the same. Some lovely etch fan work. I can tell you the lights are lovely. Got a nice thingy on that. Right, one thing, coaching stock. So before we go any further. So, no, thank you for pointing that out, Richard. I didn't realise it had a speaker in. That's quite an initiative. Okay, Hornby Mark 3s. Okay, so I have a executive livery, which is the same as the Swallow, which is quite a cream difference, should we say. I don't know if you can see that. So let me spin the camera around. So you can see there's quite a difference between the cream and the white. Now the Oxford rail, which we have one here, this is actually included with the giveaway on the Intercity Swallow livery. So you've got an Oxford rail Mark III buffet coach included. Just going to unbox it. So you can have a look at the difference in the colour scheme. So these do not perfectly match up, but they do a lot closer. So this, on the Intercity Swallow one, this is included with it, as well as the decoder. Okay, so we're going to pop the Hornby one out of the way. So we'll have a look at that in a second. So this is the Oxford Rail Mark III buffet. That's included with the giveaway on the 90, the one over here. So you can see there's quite a difference. There's a little bit of a difference. It's down to Oxford, I believe. It's like a bit more of a grey, should we say, grey white, but it does match a lot better. I'm just going to move the camera a bit closer for a second for you. So sorry to shake you all up. So you can see it's a little bit more grey, but it does match a lot better. So the detail on these is quite good actually. So you get little window etchings and everything. So but you can see it does match a lot better than using the Hornby coaches. The Hornby coaches, I believe, are mostly the way they're designed. I think they're for HSTs, aren't they? They don't all have the full buffer frames. So with the Oxford Rail Mark 3 you get included. Obviously it's a start to get you going on a red stripe. Looks wide. It is a little bit, yes. I think they were in real life a bit as well. They're a bit all over, depending where they were painted. So as you can see here, the detail on the end, you get the loop couplings on the roof as well, but you also get the pipe work, the vacuum pipe work and everything, which is a lot more detailed than you get on the Hornby model. But this is included on the giveaway on that. On the Freightliner there is a wagon coming. I'm afraid it doesn't arrive till tomorrow, that. But there is also a wagon to go with the Freightliner one. Anyway, Class 90, what we're all here for. Okay, so I'm just reading through the comments. Okay, that's been so anyway, underneath there is 4 holes. So this is going to be a Blue Peter moment, one I did earlier. There's 4 holes where you can remove the screws. So the competition details will be up Sunday. Okay. So remove the 4 screws and the lid. Let me do it without breaking the pipe work. 1 second. Need a small flat blade for this. And the lid you can gently remove, like so. So it's a lot easier to access this. So in the top here you can see where the decoder needs to be fitted. Obviously it does come with a blanking plate for DC users. So this is what will be fitted as standard. Okay. So but with the giveaway we are, let me move these boxes out of the way. It does come with a decoder. So this is the Bachmann 36569. It's manufactured by Zimmo. Okay, so it's quite a good quality decoder. It's not one of the old ones they used to have. It used to be a bit, shady, should we say. So those that you know me know I'm a big fan of lens decoders. So in here, on the back, it also gives you a little handy guide of the functions. Let me see if we can pop and see that, which we'll go for in a second. So this is a 6-function decoder. So specially designed for the Class 90, but obviously it is possible to use another decoder to work with the servo, or you can have if you use something like a 4-function or something, the servo won't work. Now, to use the sorry, I'm just looking for a piece of paper. Right, one of the things that is coming up on DCC decoders shortly is something called SUSI. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. Anyway, it's optional ports that it's going to be more common on Next 18 and Next 22 plug decoders. Sutton Locomotive Works already use this, and Bachmann are just taking advantage of it. But this is actually in the 21 pin decoder on this, so it's not common, but it is common on the 22 pins. Okay, so they are set a little different. Okay, so what you have, it's called a SUSI port. This is an optional port. So on the Sutton Locomotive 24, this can be used for, there's a magnetic reed pickup. So what you can do is place magnets on the track. As it says, it pulls out the station. You can make an announcement, beep a horn, do whatever. There's quite infinite possibilities to do with it. The official sound decoder. Yeah, I'm sure Lego Man Biffo will do a good one. So if you want to wait for the Batman one, that's up to them. Okay, so the SUSI port can be used for various functions. On this, it's going to the servo on the decoder. Okay, so as you can see, there is a wire set through. Sorry, I'm trying to do it the best I can without my hands. So I've not set all my cameras up, you see. So you can see the wire, it's a bit shady how it's done, but there's plenty of excess wire there for whatever reason when you break it. On here, these 3 flick switches are for DC users, so you can control whether you want daytime or nighttime running cabs. Okay, so you can have daytime or nighttime running cab lights. Right, I'm just going to pop the decoder in. I'm going to do it off the track actually, because the track is live. So quite nice and simply fit this in. Yeah, this is where he breaks it. So sorry, just got to get the pins aligned. It's not easy to do when you've got a camera in front of you. Anyway, so that's plonked straight into place. It's going to make a little bit of a noise in a second. Okay, so you can pop the lid back on. Obviously you can screw it in place. I'm not going to bore you with that. We're just going to have a play with it. That's the main thing. So Anyway, the pantograph is retained down very slightly by a little clip. If you just pop this clip, just so it's nice and loose, it does stay in the reframe down position. Okay, I'm just going to try and slide you forward a little bit. I can go forward a little bit so we can thingy. Right, it does make a little bit of a racket, this servo motor. It's not silent. No anti-static wristbands. It's fine. If I blow a decoder, I've got another one. Don't worry about it. So, function 6, which is the decoder, which is everyone's come here to see. So, press 6. So, I believe, well, I thought it was going to go up a little bit higher when I did it earlier, but it does only go up so far. I'm just going to move the camera a bit closer so you can see. So this is your pantograph. Number 6 is down, and number 6 to lift it back up. So it's function 6 on your thing, on your DCC handset. Now, you can program it. I'll go through the settings. So you can program it, and you can alter how fast it moves up and down, and you can also alter the, I believe, how high it goes up and down as well with CV settings. Okay, but we'll look at this more tomorrow night once I've had a bit more of a play. So just so you can show you again, function 6 on your handset. Shame it wants a bit quieter, but there we go. So down and up. Okay. Right, I'm going to move the camera around a bit in a minute. Anyway, so on the back of the decoder, as well as in the box, you get a nice little function sheet, which is a lot easier than normal. Okay, so we've got function 0, which is directional lights on and off. Okay, let me just turn half of these off for a second, because I've got stuff set on from earlier. So let's take the camera off. Let's have a quick look round. Okay, so as you can see, the cab lights are on, and also the front lights are on. Now what you can do, using function 3, you can switch automatically between day and nighttime running lights. So you can see daytime, nighttime. So it doesn't mean much, but some people obviously it means quite a bit. It's a lovely function. And if you change direction, you can see the cab light is currently on. You can see the cab light turns off, the tail lights come on. So obviously on the other end we have the cab light on, and obviously we can change between day and nighttime, daytime running lights on there as well. Now I'm just going to change direction again. What is that? Right, next thing you can do is F3, which is not F3, sorry, F4, so non-pantograph end. So say for example you've got it with the tail lights on. If you're pulling a load, you're not necessarily going to want these tail lights turned on. So if you press function 4, you see the tail lights turn off. Function 4, it'll turn it back on. And if we switch ends, I'm just going to switch this to the head end. Around the other side, you can turn the pantograph end. You can use function 5, just turn the cab tail lights off. Function 5 to turn them back on. Okay. So it really is quite a lovely locomotive. Now, with it being a Zimmo decoder, it does run rather well. I can say that. Like I said, we've already had a little play. So setting it to where are we? Not function. Speed number 1. You can see that's at single speed, which is the slowest speed it does. Now that's quite remarkable. That's on par pretty much with like the Sutton Locomotives 24. The best thing is the pantograph can go up and down while it's in moving operation as well. It's just that racket. So, you've got some. Has anyone got overhead catenary on their layout? Obviously that would work well with. So, and then you can just change direction. Pop that through. So, this one's obviously mine, but I'm just going to stop it. So, like I said, with the Oxford Rail Mark 3s, I think the coupling height seems to match pretty perfect, which is sometimes a bit all over. Anyone that's got Helgen locos knows about coupling problems. So, let me just flip that around. So as you can see, pulling a whole set of this around a layout, I think will look absolutely superb. So I haven't got the function to run it at full speed for those that are asking, I'm afraid. just going to change direction. So as you can see the detail on the cab, on the windows on the Oxford Rail Mark 3s. It really is quite nice. So I understand there's discrepancies, there's stuff that's not 100% accurate, things like that. I'd be paranoid it will catch, yeah. So I'm more diesel era, I'm afraid, so I kind of stay out of that way. But the extension does have a main running line, so but that may be, especially having this, it may be something that's coming. So you can't power this. It is all metal. It's not just plastic like some of the pantographs, say the Eurostar or something from Hornby. So it is all metal, but it will not conduct electricity unless you fancy modifying it. Maybe we can give it a go. So anyway, so that's the Intercity Swallow livery. I'm going to have a look at the Freightliner one. So I'm just going to slide this out of the way for the moment. So it is all-wheel drive. It's a Bobo chassis. So that's one of the decoders. So that's the Swallow one that's going to be given away, which is this one over here. So the Swallow livery one does include the Oxford Rail Mark 3 buffet as well. So on this is, like I said, it's not all coming on till Sunday night. So on this entry for this one, you get the Class 90 in Swallow livery, into Swallow. You also get the decoder and the Oxford Rail Mark 3 just to get you started. Okay, so you can see this is all my sheets from mine. Okay, let's have a look at the Freightliner one. So I thought the livery was really quite nice on this. So I obviously I chose these myself. Okay, so there is the rail freight distribution as well. I just thought these two were the nicest ones out of the two, especially the Swallow. That's why I got one myself. So it's exactly the same packaging. One thing you do not get with this one is you don't get nameplates with the Freightliner livery one. 1 second, I'll pop that out. Okay, so that's the function list and the CV addresses. So as you can see in here, oh, I'm losing someone's Bachmann Collectors Club leaflet. I threw mine away. So you can see the function lights are here, and it does give you the CV setups, and it also gives you the CVs required for Locksound 5 decoders as well. So that's interesting. So the manual's exactly the same. Okay, right, let's pop this in and have a look. So you get the same thing, warning about the 21 pin decoder. So this is the Freightliner livery one, or Freightliner Powerhaul, I believe it is. So you get pretty much the same detail. You get some extra couplings on this for some reason compared to the thingy one, the Swallow one. But you don't get any nameplates or anything. I'll pop back in there because this is for someone. I'm afraid I can't run this on the track or anything. Obviously it is a giveaway one, so it's going to be someone's locomotive, and I'm not going to fit the decoder because the person who may win it may not want, maybe a DC user, etc. It's not to meddle with. So as you can see, lovely livery. Okay, I do like they have smoked like front lights on there, which I think is lovely. So there's no driver again. So you get the buffer frame detail. These are just sprung buffers only. They don't twist and retract or anything. That's just on the passenger service one. Okay, so on the top, it's exactly the same. So you can see pipework. It's exactly the same as the Swallow livery one, but you just get a bit of orange accents, should we say. You got the same thing with them tiny little prongs, which you have to be careful of. Just have to be careful of these altogether. They're quite, yeah. So you can see the difference between the two. So you've got the Freightliner, this one here. On the pantograph you also get little orange tips as well. Okay, so these little orange tips I think are quite funky. So same thing again, the handrails and everything, they're all, it's literally plastic moulded. Unpeeled banana. Okay, so there is couplings by default on both ends, and like I'm saying, you do get the, obviously the valance and everything to go in that. You can see Freightliner. I'm afraid I can't put it on the track or anything because it's obviously, my layout's only DCC only. I don't have a DC running track. So, obviously, like I said. So, but that's the Freightliner livery. Exactly the same pretty much, but obviously you've got buffer frame difference other than that, and obviously the livery, and you get the pantograph with orange tips. So it's really quite a stunning locomotive. So, what's everyone's favourite? Has anyone picked one of these up yet? So I'm going to pop this straight back in. Obviously this is for one lucky winner. So this will be going, obviously, bear in mind, there's a lot of value in this, and a lot of effort been put into this giveaway that's coming up to work. So this will be going over a 2-week giveaway. Okay, so but we'll be coming up with the details. It is going to be a little bit of a different giveaway this time. Bear in mind, obviously, it's been part sponsored by Malks, so there is things that we've got to compile by. Okay, so I'm going to pop this back in. So this, the Freightliner one, will be coming with a hopper, big, I can't remember which one it is, so OBA or something. It will be coming with a Freightliner wagon as well. Okay. So it will be coming with a Freightliner wagon. I'm afraid that doesn't arrive with me until tomorrow. So my favourite's the Intercity. Obviously it's all down to preference and everyone's preference. So the Intercity one, you do get the Oxford Rail Mark III buffet with it, and the Freightliner one, you do get a one of the quite big, I think it's a Daypole hopper wagon with it as well. So I'm just popping these back in the box to make sure everything's there, so we can see. So I love the Freightliner one as a modern image, but the Intercity one looks great too. Yeah, my favourite was the Intercity. Obviously it goes with the era of my layout and everything. No, might not necessarily go, but there's no rules, is there? Should we say? Obviously on an exhibition, I guess there will be. So, popping these back together. So I'm afraid the wagon is missing. It's not come yet. So, but when that comes, that'll be available. So we've got the Swallow Intercity livery, one that's coming in. Into mould. No, the wagon is some Freightliner. Oh, I can't remember which one it is now. I'll tell you tomorrow when the bits come through. So, has anyone got any more questions about the Class 90s or anything else? I thought it'd be great if you just have a quick look at. So I'll go through. I'll show you the pantograph again. Like I say, it does make a little bit of noise. You can hear it there. 1 second. So I've got the loco going the wrong way. So front ways, the pantograph is at the back of the locomotive. So, but it really does run really quite well. As you can see there. So that's onto speed 1. So you can do some quite realistic running with it as well. I think my camera's gone a bit odd, bod. There we go. So it's, yeah, at speed number 1, it's a lovely smooth runner. Overall score, say out of 10. Not really rated in that way. Look at things individually. One thing that I'd like to look at myself is some enthusiasts like my Class 60 that I did. I put a double twin bass reflex speaker in there. It sounds absolutely amazing. The standard Bachmann speakers are usually the 40B20s, which are, they're okay. But obviously, I'd be interested to see how easy that is to change. My opinion, great running. Decoder, that comes with them. Well, not with them, you can get separately. Using a Zimmo decoder, which I think is brilliant, rather than some cheap manufacturer that's going to play up. I think Zimmo decoders are great, and so are the what you call it ones, lens. Okay, so I think it's great how you can fit the decoder in the top. Pantograph, yeah, I think it's all right. I think the noise is a bit. As you can hear, it does generate a little bit of noise. But at the end of the day, it's one of the first ones to do it, so it's a, should we say, a prototype. So Richard's giving it 7-8. I'm gonna be honest. I think 8-9. I think the paintwork's a little bit bright white, in my opinion. We'll have a look at the top. It also has the running numbers on the top, but I think they've put a lot of detail into it. Shame the doors, well, the handles weren't separately applied like metal railings. It does bring them out a little bit, and the same with the etched grills. So, you know, like some of the locomotives you get. I don't know. Let's use this one as an example. Class 60. You've got the etched grills in there. Obviously, I know you can see through it. Not always possible, but just having actual grills with some detail behind, I think it's a good thing. So, but these are like moulded plastic, but it's definitely an improvement over the. I'll fix that noise. Give me. It's a servo motor. Good luck. Yeah, I do see your point, Richard. Speaker you can't use. Like I said, I'm going to have a play tomorrow with a different decoder. Obviously, I haven't got a Class 90 sound decoder. But I'm going to... Please, if Hornby have brought them out, I don't know if they have or whatever, don't use a TTS chip in this or whatever. I can tell you, it will go wrong. But I'm going to have a play with... I've got a couple of 6-function decoders. I've got a lens one and also a dapol one. Dapol. I'll call them dapol still. Yeah, video's probably not doing it justice. I think the paintwork's great, but like I said, the only thing I do think is it is a little bit bright white. It's like someone's just had the emulsion out of it. So, but I'll plonk it here so you can see it again, just in that livery. But I think it's great how you can run the daytime and nighttime running lights. So I think it's really good. Obviously, you can turn the cab lights off as well. Like I said, it's just a bit of the plastic work which I thought could be a bit better, but a bit of weathering will really bring it up. But as far as Bachmann go, I think that's a pretty knob-on model. I think I see the point with the speaker, but people who are really sound enthusiasts are probably going to try and change it, including probably myself. I'm not a sound enthusiast, but I do like the difference between speakers. And Bachmann's 40x20 standard one isn't the best, should we say. So agreed. The light functions. Yeah, I think the light function's great. I think the servo's a bit more of a gimmick over time. You probably won't use it. Again, the noise, fair enough. They'll probably develop a better motor and things like that in the future and for more locomotives. But as a standpoint of view and how it stands out, I like the Freightliner livery, I'm going to admit. I'm not a big fan of the rail freight distribution. Triple gate always seems a bit dull to me. But obviously, I do have bits that are triple grey, but stuff like this I think really stands out. But the Oxford Rail Mark 3s I think go with it pretty well. So factory fresh after a bit of use, grubby hands, it'll loosen its sheen. Yeah, probably. So no doubt I'll probably get a weather on it. So this one's mine anyway. But obviously, so these are the giveaway ones here. And as soon as that wagon comes, we'll be posting it up as well, so you can all see. Agree with the light functions. But as a standpoint of view, compared to just something, oh, another 37's come out, oh, something else has come out. I admit, even like I know Dapol redid the 22s, which we looked at last week. It's alright. This seems a bit more, oh, it's got a bit more to it, should I say. Like I said, the roof function, brilliant. So, now I hope that Cavlocks do a Class 91 and Mark 4s. Oh yeah, you can pull Mark 4s with these as well, can't you? Has anyone got a Mark 3 DVT from Hornby? Not the Mark 4 one, the Mark 3 one. I know Dean Park's got one, he paid a bit for it. And what else is there? And there's a couple of... I did have one years ago. Found a picture out and I stupidly sold it. And I don't know why I did, it was just one of them. Yeah. I went for a stage when I first started modelling around 2012. Just getting everything, and I think, nah, I don't want that, do want that. And yeah, it's one of them stupid decisions I made. So, but do hope you obviously like the video. So, not the IC one, alas. Missed out on that. Yeah, so, but a few of us did. But hopefully Hornby remake them or something, because they'll probably sell them if the Bachmann are doing these. So, let me get a quick sip. I'm a bit flued up, so I do apologise. So, but anyway, we'll be on tomorrow evening. I'm just going to pop the camera up. Woohoo. Gone way over the edge then. So, just so you can see. So, we'll be on tomorrow evening. Bear in mind, there is the giveaway of the Intercity Express train set coming up. So, thank you to everyone that sent it. We've had about nearly 80 entries so far. So the biggest one we had was a tornado set. We had over 900 entries or something. It was mad. So I guess there's more Steam fans. So with the set, you do get the Hornby trap mat, and you also get the railer. So this is great for someone to get going. You also get, obviously, this is the basic version. There is the super detail, but the basic version, obviously, of the not Pendolino, the Javelin 395. Sorry, my dad would kill me for saying that. So, cracking little locomotive. You get a coach, a little siding, and you get all the track work with it as well. So, that's the set. I don't know if you can see. So, you get the full set. So good luck to everyone that's entered that, or it may be useful for a family member or just someone to get started in modelling. So it's a cracking little set. So if you haven't already checked out the post, please do, for the express train set, or the Freightliner, Javelin train set. Yeah, it's another version. Right, so thank you everyone for watching. Obviously, I'll just give a little thing, another tour of the Class 90. So this is the end with the cab lights on, front lights running. See? So it's come out quite well there. It really is quite a stunning piece of kit. So what we have to do for the competition? Now that's still being stipulated. So because obviously this is a part to do with milk, so it is something that will be sorted, and it will be announced on Sunday evening. Like I said, I know it will be run over a 2-week period. Okay, and we may get, I don't know, hopefully we get a few entries for it. So if you're the only one that enters, good luck, you'll be the winner. But I'm hopefully we'll get more than one entry for the competition. We usually do on most of them. So is this something that people will be interested in? So I'm just reading through your comments now, just checking. So, but yeah, like I said, I think it's an impactful model. If you've got the money, fair enough, grab one. Is it to do with film editing? So if anyone's not checked out Sam Birchall's editing, he does a lot for Severn Valley Railway and obviously other projects for himself. Check out, is it Sammy B Films? Tell me if I've done wrong. It's on YouTube. He's got a cracking channel. I thought the open day video he did that we showed before we did the exhibition was cracking, and it was great to meet him. So will anyone be entering into the competition? If so, what livery will you be wanting to go for? You're going to be wanting to go for the Swallow Intercity livery or the Freightliner livery? So I'll run that pantograph again. I'll just... It would have to be Swallow. A lot of people really want to go with the Swallow. So, one thing that will be done, we're changing the way we are going to be doing giveaways as well. On this one, I can announce everyone that does enter, your comments, because there's going to be things to it, will actually be printed. And as we're going through the start of the video, they will all be printed and cut out. So you can all see your comments going. They will actually be going into a proper hat. Completely random, well, not a hat, maybe a tub or a bowl. I haven't really got a bowler hat. So I'm going to be printing everyone's comments, literally one by one. They're going to be going in the hat, and we'll be doing an actual random draw. I can tell you that will be happening. Sounds rude. So maybe after a few they'll get a nice quiet motor, but it's a servo motor in there at the end of the day. Knowing me, I will end up probably taking this to bits. So, but I'll be keeping you updated. I'll post any pictures and everything. I'll be taking mine to bits and having a look, how do I change the speaker? Because I know the body does come off, but not easily. So, thank you all for watching. And if anyone has got any more questions, either that or just give us a shout out. So, have a good evening, and thank you very much.